Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 58 of Gains, and this one is titled Stuck Between a Rock and an Explosion. He straightened and looked you dead in the eye, then stepped towards you. The look on his face made you step back and turn against the lockers, and he placed a hand up beside your head and held strong eye contact with you. I know what I said, he said lowly to you, his red eyes switching from your left to your right. And I also know that he's going to make his move. I'm better than he is, and you know that. That's why you should be with me, he said. You did hear him. You heard every word, but it left you speechless. Two guys were definitely gunning for you right now, and it felt like a dream. You started to say, your tongue moving but nothing else coming out after your initial word. Don't say anything. I don't want to hear your reply until it's a yes, he said before removing his hand, shoving it into his pocket, and then squat marching away from you. You watched him go, stunned. Recovering as best you could, you waited until he had disappeared, and then you turned back to the locker to bend down and close it, and then walk back to Heights Alliance. It was a long yet short walk back to Heights Alliance. Your brain was so preoccupied with the things that both of the boys had said to you that you didn't really take notice of how far you had walked, but the topics and questions that you had asked yourself were over the thousands count. You were amazed at just how much you had asked yourself in that short space of time. But, unfortunately, for all the questions you asked, you had hardly any answers. Those would have to come later. What you had to do now was work out what to do. Did they both actually like you? They had both dropped massive hints, but neither had actually verbally said, Yin, I like you a lot, would you go out with me? Is that what you needed to hear? Would it be a first in, best dressed? If Kiri asked you out first, would you say yes to him? But what if Bakugo asked you out before Kiri? Neither way was a definite yes in your mind. You liked both boys for different reasons, and wouldn't have minded being with either of them, or both of them for that matter, but you didn't know how that was going to work out. If you could have cloned yourself, that would have solved all of your problems to your left and your right, but unfortunately that wasn't within the realms of your quirk's capacity, so you'd have to leave that thought for now. You groaned with annoyance as you threw your dorm room door open and stepped in and then threw it closed behind you. Oh, man. You slapped your palms to your cheeks and dragged your hands down the sides of your face so that it distorted your eye sockets and pulled them down as well. Why did life suddenly have to get so complicated all of a sudden? You were just starting to get used to this lovely life without any stress, but now you had two hot guys on your case. You needed a sounding board. Someone who you could talk to about this that wouldn't say anything. Well, you did have somebody in mind, but you weren't sure about the not saying anything part. You spun around and marched straight back out of your room to Mina's room next door and banged on her door. Hey-oh, she laughed. My room isn't that big, you don't need to knock so loud. Gave me a fright. And then her door was opened and she stood there with a giant grin on her face. Yin! She gasped with excitement, stepping back to invite you in. Come in, come in. I need help, you stated in an urgent voice. Like, legitimately, I'm in a spot. Mina, who had originally been super excited for you to come in, assuming for some chill time, now looked mildly worried when you said that you were in trouble, and you didn't look very pleased about it either. What's up? She asked, toning down her excitement to match your pensive airs. Okay, first of all, I think you're right, and I know you're going to scream, but I seriously need some help here, you said with a worried look on your face. You had me at you're right, but go on, she said as she flopped down on her bed, and you sat down too. With one big inhale in and another big one out, you exploded into the main clincher of the conversation. Kiri almost confessed to me, I think, and Bakugo pretty much did the same, and now I don't know what to do. You monologued without taking a breath. Mina, who had been lying down on her bed, sat bolt upright now and stared at you. Sorry, what? She asked in disbelief. No, I know that Kiri liked you, but I never thought that Bakugo would admit he had feelings. No, he didn't admit it. He basically said, I know Kiri is making a move on you, and I don't want to lose to him, so we're going on a date, and I won't let you reply me until it's a yes. You paraphrased. Yeah, that checks out, Mina replied with a shrug. But, so what are you going to do? I don't know, that's why I'm here, he said with exasperation. I like both of them. Like, Kiri's the sweetest guy alive, but then Bakugo is really pulling out the best in me, and I enjoy our time together. He's so strong and confident, but then so is Kiri. He's helped me through so much, but then so has Bakugo. You flipped-flopped between these two, pointing out their qualities, which made it even harder to choose, and you let out another dissatisfied groan and fell backwards on the bed. Mina chuckled sympathetically. I'm sorry, she said when she could see you were really put out by this. I don't want to turn either of them down either, but if I pick one over the other, it's going to make things hella awkward because, you know, we're all in class together, you added. Yeah, I get it, she said with a sigh. I'm so sorry. I don't really know how to help with this one. Yeah, sorry. I just burst in here and dumped it all on you, he said sadly. No, I love this. Well, I don't love that it's really upsetting you, but I love that you came to me and we can have girly talks and everything, she said with a smile. We all really like you, Yin, she added. You're just a lovely person and you pull people in. Mina, I appreciate that you're trying to make me feel better, but it still hasn't solved my problem, he said with a sad smile at her. I'm just being honest, I promise, she said softly back to you. There was a gentle moment between you, and then a knock at the door broke it up, and you both looked over at the door. Oh, it's a busy day today, Mina said brightly. Who is it? Mina? It's me. Is Yin with you? Came the voice of Kiri. Well, that is a bit of a problem. You'll have to stay tuned for the chapter tomorrow, 59. I'll see you then.